Welcome to the fifth episode of Roasting Home Service Business Websites. In this case, we have Des Plains Fence Company, and we're gonna be going over everything to change to increase conversions, get more organic leads, increase the SEO, and make sure that everything's optimized. So let's get started and make sure if you want your website roasted on a future episode, make sure to comment it down below and I'll make sure to roast it. And also, make sure to watch until the end because I'm gonna be dropping gems in this video and you don't wanna miss them. So let's get started. So I'm on the navbar here on this hero section, and I like what I see so far. Like it's just from the first glance, everything looks pretty good. So the only improvement I could see on the navbar specific is maybe just adding a button on the right, so a call to action button like this one that says schedule a free estimate, get a free quote, something like that. That way, as the users scroll down, they can always have a button that they can click on to call you or fill out a form. And then I would also add some padding here on the top and bottom because it's a bit squished right now, and that's gonna just give it a little bit more room to breathe. So adding a bit of padding on top and a bit of padding on bottom. And then we have this white space here, which you can 100% remove it. It's using super valuable real estate and you don't wanna like wasted, right? So I would just remove this space at the padding, like I said, on the navbar, and then move this up because you want to take advantage of this hero section as much as possible. You don't want anything to be wasted. So now, moving on to the hero section, I like the H1. It's very clear and concise. And if we take a look at the domain on this website, it's dpfencecompany.com. That's really valuable. So, just a quick tip on the SEO side, if you can get a domain that's an exact match of the keyword you want to rank for, that's super valuable. And that's going to guarantee that you almost rank number one for that keyword. It's going to be really hard to beat you if you get that. So that's just another tip. So, it's the advantage, right? That this company can just say their company name and I check their Google business profile and it looks like it's the same. So you can just put it like that and it's gonna look perfect. So that's Plains Fence Company. It's perfect. Nothing to change there. Now I would add some space in between the H1 here and then these bullet points just to make it more readable, more easy to read. And that's just gonna improve it. So just adding some space between this line and then these checkpoints. I would also consider maybe removing the line and adding some sub copy, just like on the Stripe website, like they have it right below the H1. You could also add that or not add it. That's more like an optional thing, but also consider adding another bullet point on the right with another benefit for why they should choose you. And then that's gonna look way better. That's gonna make improve. Now the confusing part on this hero section is that we have these two call to actions here, and they're like this is center aligned and this is left aligned. So typically what you want to do for this is if you have two call to actions, you want them to be right next to each other, so you can put this button right next to each other. But you never want to have two call to actions on your hero section that have the same color and that are right next to each other. So in this case, you would need to change this one to be like have a different color, a black one. So just to kind of illustrate this point clearer, let me take a look at the Stripe website. And if we go, this is their hero section. You can see they have a clear H1, clear subcopy, and then they have two call to actions. But you can see that they have one primary call to action, which is what they want the user to do, and they have a secondary call to action. And notice how they have a different color on each one. This one's like clearly and bold, and this one doesn't have a background. So you want to do have the same idea for your website too. So maybe make this black color and different than this one, and that's going to help it improve it, right? So, and also, we want your primary call to action to not be discover our services because you want them to call. Like if I come to your website, I need a fence, I want to call you immediately, right? So you typically do you want the primary call to action to say something along the lines like schedule a free estimate. That could work. And then on the right you can put on a different color discover services, and that's going to help you increase conversions immediately like that. So let's keep moving down. I quite like on the right hand corner that we have a chat that we can, chat. This is a huge selling point because like most websites right now are going through a transition where they're starting to use more of these chat AI bots. So if you can get that on your website, you're far ahead of the competition, and it's going to help you a lot. Now, moving down here, we have this weird section where, so this is a perfect example, right, where you never want to have just like a section with just text and not a heading. So we have the H1 here, and now what you want to do here at the top is add an H2 that explains, basically summarizes what the section's about, because right now I'm reading this and I'm not really sure. So it says Des Plaines Fence Contractor, Des Plaines Fence Company, fence repair. So it looks like it's services, but you're a contractor and you're a company. So it kind of looks like it's just keyword stuffing, and that's really negative for SEO. So as from the user experience standpoint, this provides a poor user experience, right? And that's crucial for SEO. So I would definitely just clean it up. You never want to have these long paragraphs, no more than 4 or 5 lines, because like people now have short attention spans, so it's really difficult to keep them engaged, and you don't want to make them bounce, right? And we have these images, so I would either delete this section completely or like rethink it, right? Maybe add some cards for the services or something along the lines, because right now, we just have this text and it looks like it's just keyword stuffing to make you rank for these keywords. So I'm not sure if you're investing in SEO, but that's something that you could pass along to your SEO team. Now this is good, and then we have these things. Yeah, so all of this pretty much, it provides a bad user experience, right? And it's just like it looks like you're just keyword stuffing, which is very negative for SEO. So I would consider removing that as well. And we have this about us section, which I quite like, this about us section. And something we touched on the first episode is to have a container, right? You can see that this website has it and it's like on this side, but then the about us section is displayed from left to right. So you want to keep that consistent, that way we have this container here and then this is from left to right on your screen. It just looks inconsistent and unprofessional. So I would also consider changing that. But overall, this about us section looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. If you could add like a picture of your team on the right, that's gonna build a lot of trust, and that would be really beneficial. Moving along, we have these services. Yeah, so it looks like here is the types of fences that you offer. So just consider adding a title here at the top and maybe designing this better, because right now we have these long paragraphs that no one's gonna read. What I would personally do is make them into cards, so only three per column, per error row, and then just making it more beautiful on the design aspect, and maybe even build a page for each specific type of fence. That's going to really help you with the SEO as well. And then also this, I like this section with reviews. Maybe just considering it, maybe not being displayed from left to right, because right now it looks like too wide to read, right? So that's something you could add in another heading as well. Then we have this section, which is pretty good. I would consider adding a button here just because, like, users, if they see this section, they want to call you, right? So I would consider adding that as well. I like this section with the Google Maps and everything else. And then at the bottom, I would just consider adding a contact form that's easy and simple to fill, because I didn't see any contact form, or it looks like it's here. Yeah, so maybe just improving the design of this one and making it look more appealable, because right now this whole red on the whole section is making me confused for where the form is, right? So that's it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to comment it down below your website if you want your website roasted. If you like this episode and you want to see future episodes like this, make sure to like, retweet, comment, bookmark, whatever it is that you want to do. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.